Are you considering an electric vehicle? Like others that are doing the same, you may be wondering if a plug-in electric hybrid is a better option than a fully electric vehicle. Well, I've owned and driven both types over the last 3 years and can tell you that I definitely have a preference. And I'll tell you which one and why in a little bit. But first, if you're thinking about moving into the world of electric vehicles, you're not alone. Last year in 2021, US sales of hybrid electric vehicles jumped 76% to over 801,000 vehicles. Sales of fully electric vehicles also rose 83% to almost 445,000 vehicles. This brings the total market share of new light vehicle sales in the US to 8% that are using partial or full electric drivetrains. The number is expected to grow year over year as more auto manufacturers continue their commitment to electric transportation and the network of EV charging stations is expanded. Just this last week, the Biden administration rolled out a plan to allocate $5 billion to states in the US to fund electric vehicle chargers over the next 5 years. Other countries such as Norway and China have already taken a leading role with similar e-mobility adoption. Now, on to choices. First, what are the differences between hybrids, electric vehicle hybrids, and fully electric vehicles? Any vehicle that has two different types of motors can be called a hybrid, and there are several types with electric vehicles. First, hybrid electric vehicles. These are powered by an internal combustion engine and an electric motor that uses electricity that's stored in a battery. The extra power provided by electricity allows for a smaller engine, which gives better fuel economy without reducing performance. Hybrid electric vehicles, not the plug-in type, charge by capturing energy normally lost during braking, which is also known as regenerative braking. This type of vehicle does not offer zero emissions driving. Hybrid vehicles with larger batteries may also power the vehicle over short distances at lower speeds, resulting in better fuel savings and partial zero emissions driving. Improved fuel economy is one of the main reasons to choose a non-plug-in electric hybrid vehicle. Due to less cost with a smaller battery size, the overall cost of purchase is usually lower as well. However, with a combustion engine, this vehicle still requires maintenance similar to non-electric vehicles. The Toyota's Prius and Camry hybrid, as well as Ford Escape and Chevy Tahoe hybrids, are examples of the non-plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. The next type of vehicle is a plug-in electric hybrid vehicle. These hybrids have a larger battery that cannot be charged by braking alone. The larger battery allows the vehicle to travel much further and faster on electric power than a non-plug-in EV. The all-electric range varies depending on the model of the car, but is usually under 50 miles. And after the battery is spent, the gas engine takes over and the vehicle acts similarly to a non-plug-in hybrid. Again, with a combustion engine, this vehicle still requires regular changes for oil and ignition system maintenance. However, fuel economy is better, especially if the vehicle is used primarily for short commutes. The Chrysler Pacifica, as well as Toyota's RAV4 Prime and Prius Prime, are examples of plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. There's still another type of plug-in hybrid called the extended range electric vehicle. In these vehicles, the combustion engine plays a smaller part in the process than in other types of hybrid vehicles. The engine doesn't drive the wheels, but primarily works to recharge the battery when needed. The car itself moves using an electric motor, and this type of vehicle acts just like a fully electric vehicle, using the battery until the battery runs low. Once this occurs, the gas engine provides energy, extending the range before needing to plug in again. Extended range vehicles offer the most zero emissions driving of all the types of hybrids and may reach up to 125 miles using electricity depending on the model. That leads us to the battery electric vehicle, or more simply just electric vehicles. These use electric motors only with no gasoline engine. All energy to run the vehicle comes from the battery pack, which is recharged from the grid or from a home energy system such as solar power. Battery electric vehicles are zero emissions because they do not have any tailpipe emissions. Examples of battery electric vehicles include the Ford Mustang Mach-E, Audi e-tron, Volkswagen ID.4, and any of the Tesla models. Let's talk a little about range difference in each type. A plug-in hybrid electric vehicle usually offers much greater driving range than most comparable pure EVs do. Many plug-in hybrid electric vehicles can achieve around 300 to 400 miles with both gas and electric sources used. This is similar to many standard gas-only cars, but plug-in hybrid electric vehicles do give a significantly lower level of emissions. With battery electric vehicles, the 100% electric range in miles varies considerably. However, most battery pack sizes are large enough to consistently provide 200 to 250 miles of real-world range. One thing to keep in mind though, if considering this type of vehicle, is that the stated EPA range of the vehicle may be higher than what the vehicle can actually provide. This is the case with my Tesla Model Y, which has an EPA range of over 300 miles. However, based on the speed and temperatures in which I drive, I consistently realize only 75 to 80% of this. Let's talk for a minute about the cost of purchase. As with any type of car, purchase price for plug-in hybrid electric vehicles and electric vehicles do vary considerably depending on the manufacturer, model, and options for the vehicle. A good rule of thumb is that the larger the battery size and the all-electric range, the more expensive the vehicle will be. When compared to conventional gasoline cars, the purchase price of electric vehicles may seem a bit on the expensive side, even after tax credits and subsidies. However, with lower maintenance costs and using electricity instead of gas, the total cost of ownership with electric vehicles can be very comparable to gas vehicles. Now let's talk about ongoing costs for a minute. With plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, you need to consider the cost of running a gas engine alongside the electric motor unless it's being used only as an EV. For plug-in hybrid electric vehicle drivers who rarely charge their battery and mainly rely on the gas engine, the efficiencies will be minimized. Now, when it comes to car maintenance, such as annual servicing, electric vehicles generally are less expensive. However, fewer mechanics are trained to work on EVs than gas vehicles, which means that an electric vehicle owner may have less choice about who can work on their vehicle than a conventional gas car owner. But as electric vehicles become increasingly popular, more service centers will become qualified to work on them. While the cost of purchasing a plug-in hybrid is typically lower than a fully electric vehicle, maintenance can actually be higher because they not only have an electric motor and a battery, but they have a gas engine that needs servicing as well. This brings us to answer the question, which is the right option for you? Whether you go with a fully electric vehicle or opt for a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle will mainly depend on how you intend to use the car and what your motivation is for moving away from conventional gas engine driving in the first place. For those who mostly do short journeys around town or the city and want to make the best possible savings of running costs, as well as enjoy the principles of zero-emission driving, a fully electric vehicle seems like the natural choice. For those who perhaps drive long distances on a regular basis and are mainly motivated by improving fuel economy, a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle could be a better option, at least at this point in time. Those with concerns about electric range and charging options may find plug-in hybrid electric vehicles a less risky first step. I mentioned earlier that I have a preference. Well, initially I entered the world of electric vehicles with my Chevrolet Volt. I bought it because I wanted to drive electric but still had questions about range and cost. I drove trucks for years and wanted a car to commute to work and for travel that didn't cost a lot to operate. The Volt definitely met that need. However, I really enjoyed driving my Tesla Model Y, as it is so convenient leaving my house every day with plenty of range to get around and without having to stop for gas. I have no plans to move back to a gas engine vehicle. In fact, I put down a deposit to purchase a new Chevrolet Silverado electric vehicle truck and plan to own a truck again someday. Electric vehicle technology is moving incredibly quickly. It won't be too many years until pure electric vehicles are capable of a range in miles to rival any current plug-in hybrid electric or gas engine vehicle. With more and more charging options becoming available for long-distance travel, this may be the ideal year for you to make the change to fully electric vehicle. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this. Let's get a discussion started in the comment section down below. Let me know if you're considering an electric vehicle and which one you may purchase when you're getting ready to make the change. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.